sis, you okay?
Hello and welcome to another episode of Hey Sis, you okay? Before we get started today, I want to remind everyone to like and hit the subscribe button to Hey Sis, you okay? And today we have a special guest, co-host today. Do you want to introduce yourself?
My name is Dennis Robinson. I'm Kelli's husband. So today I'm co-hosting with my beautiful wife, Kelli, and we're going to talk to a good friend of ours about things that she loves to do and why she's important to our sister house in the B&B program.
Yep, so today with us we have Steffanee Holt. Steffanee has been with us for a very long time. She is a family to us. She is our therapist. And before we dive into our set of questions, Steffanee, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, so Steffanee Holt. I work for the state full time. I also have a private practice doing individual, couple, family therapy in University Place. And I've been working with you guys for about 10 years, 10-ish
I think it's
years.
been 10 years. We started building new bridges in 2016, and you've been with us before that. So,
Yes.
So long history. We have just a few questions that we just want to dive in. It's May is Mental Health Awareness Month. So, as Steffanee being our therapist on our staff, we just wanted to bring her in and talk about mental health awareness and some of the things that she does with us with the Building New Bridges program. So the first question we have is, what inspired you to work with youth and mental health?
Okay, so I've always been drawn to helping people who feel unheard or misunderstood, especially young people. A lot of youth are carrying trauma, they're carrying anxiety, family stress, relationship issues, while trying to figure out who they are. So I realized early on that when young people have one safe adult that they can talk to who genuinely listens without judgment, it can completely change the direction of their life. So that work became really meaningful to me.
Love that.
So when you say one adult, that could be anyone, as long as they're adult, family friend, or a coach, or...
Yes. Yep. When they say it takes a village, it really does take a village. So it doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be a parent or an aunt or an uncle. Coaches, teachers, counselors, friend's parent. Yeah.
Someone they're comfortable talking to, feel comfortable with. Good. So I have a question for you. Can you tell us a little bit about your role at our sister house in the B&B program?
With Building New Bridges, I work as a co-facilitator with Dennis, and we have other community partners that will come in and present also. We support youth through mental health education, emotional support, relationship skills, and creating spaces where they feel safe enough to be honest. So the program focuses on connection, on healing, on accountability, helping youth build healthier relationships with themselves and others.
Good. So because May is Mental Health Awareness Month, kind of wanted to touch on some of the things that we're seeing with our youth in our community. So what are some signs that a young person may be struggling emotionally or mentally?
Okay, so sometimes it's really obvious, sometimes it's really subtle. Young adults typically tend to isolate. You will notice changes in sleep patterns, changes in behavior. They can have increased anxiety, loss of motivation, sometimes changes in relationships. They may push family or close friends away.
Wow, that's very helpful.
Yeah, that's very good. So what are some common misconceptions people have about therapy or mental health support?
So one misconception is that therapy is for people who are in crisis. Therapy and mental health support can assist people that are in crisis, of course, but it can also be used as a place to learn coping skills, learn boundaries, learn communication, learn about themselves, emotional awareness. Another misconception is that asking for help is a weakness, when in reality it does take a lot of courage and self-awareness to seek support.
As you know, we had a recent tragedy. Jill lost her granddaughter, and I feel like, it's very important that adults pay attention to what's happening with youth in our community and their families, kids that they have connections to. So what are some things that parents, mentors, or teachers can do to better support youth who are struggling?
I think they can support by listening more than lecturing, right? Young people don't always need someone to fix everything immediately. That's one thing that we do talk about in Building New Bridges also is they need somebody who makes them feel safe enough to open up and safe enough to be themselves and confide in. It's important, I think, to validate a young adult's emotions. You don't always have to agree with how they're feeling or what they're saying, but to validate them really makes them feel heard. Consistency is another big piece of that. Trust is built through consistency. So the more that we can show up and the more that we can kind of remain calm and just be a listening ear for a young adult, that can change a lot.
I love that.
Yeah, me too.
I love that.
Look, I want to go back to when you were talking about people struggling emotionally or mentally with mental health, as well as the misconception. 'Cause a lot of time, black men, period, think that going to therapy is a sign, and you said it's a sign of weakness. And a lot of time we teach this to our young adults that as a male, if you cry for help, you should be weak. If there's a way we could get around that by letting the young adult males know it's okay to seek mental health.
Yeah, I think by setting an example, right, as an adult male,
Right.
And really showing them that it is okay to ask for help, right? That's not weakness. We're all going to need a little bit of help in some capacity in our life. And I think just being that example for young men is super important. I think also allowing them to really express how they're feeling. And, that can be done through example as well, right? The more that you can talk about the way that you're feeling,
Right.
the more comfortable or safe then they'll
Yeah,
be able to later
yeah.
on.
Good.
I think
Yeah.
that's great. Do you
Yeah.
have anything else you wanted to ask about the stigma around mental health and?
No, I just think as a male, when I was growing up, it was always, if you go seek help, you being weak.
Right.
So I tried to, when we have our B&B class, I try to tell them it's okay to go seek help. It's not a sign of weakness. Really, it's a sign of strength, let's be honest with you. When
Yeah.
you know you need something and someone to help you, it's a sign of strength when you ask for help.
Right.
A lot of time we don't teach this to males. That's why I asked that question.
Well, and I think it starts, from the beginning. We talk about this in the program too, that, young kids, it's like the little boy falls down. It's like, well, get up. You're tough. You're strong. Just get up. Stop crying. Little girl falls down, and a lot of it is, oh, I'm so sorry. It's okay. Let's fix this. And I think that we need to do the same consistent behavior with both males and females.
Yeah,
I do too.
I agree.
Yep. So shifting gears a little bit, so Steffanee is one of our facilitators in our Building New Bridges program. And Building New Bridges is the program that we do in partnership with Pierce County Juvenile Court. We've been doing it, we've been the community partner since 2016. It's for low to medium risk youth who have committed an offense. And so they get to come and spend 12 hours once a month with us. And so Steffanee, what makes Building New Bridges different from any other youth programs?
I think the difference is that we really try to build real connection and emotional safety with the teens and with their connected adult who attends with them. It's not about just handing out information, right, or reading a script or lecturing. We create a space where youth can feel heard and understood and empowered. So we meet young people where they're at without judgment. And at the same time, we're teaching their connected adult or family member the exact same skills, right, to be able to build a relationship together. And we do have a lot of fun, right? We incorporate a lot of really fun activities and games, just so we're not sitting all day.
Yeah.
Right.
What have been one of the most rewarding moments you experienced in this program, Building New Bridges? Building New Bridges, sorry.
There's been a lot. I think the most powerful moments for me are the second day when they return and we hear a family member say that they had a conversation with their young adult the night before, right? Or the young adult stayed home and didn't go out with their friends because they wanted to stay home. And I think those moments for me mean so much because you just see it and you feel like there was a connection made. Something has shifted.
Right.
Yeah, and Building New Bridges is an evidence-based program. And Steffanee, I know you've done lots and lots of training. Why is evidence-based programming so important?
Well, because there's a lot of research behind that, right? When it's evidence-based, we know that we're not just feeding people a bunch of like fluff or ideas or opinions, right? It's been researched, it's been taught, and it's effective.
So what do you hope the parents, most of the time we always talk about what the youth should take away from the program. What do you hope the parents learn by coming to the program with their youth? Because a lot of times the parents feel like you're trying to teach me how to parent. So what do you hope the parents will learn when they come through a program like Building the Bridges?
I hope that they walk away with a support system themselves, right? Knowing that they have us, our sister's house, even the court, right? They are there to help, they're there to assist, and they don't have to do it alone. You know, parenting and navigating parenting is really tough and really difficult. But we also teach them, I think, to listen more and try to understand and try to meet their young adult where they're at.
What is something you wish what is something young people wish adults knew? What do you think that with today's kids and all they have to go through, what do you think adults need to know about them?
I think that being a young adult today is hard, right? I think as adults, there's a lot of things that we've gone through, right, that have also been equally hard, but there's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of stress on young adults that we don't always recognize.
Right.
Things that are happening in the world, right? Our economy, our political climate, violence, social media. There's a lot that they're getting hit with every single day, every moment of every single day. Right. And I think we need to acknowledge that as parents too, that yes, while we have stress, they're also going through that exact same stress with us.
So this is one of the questions we ask the parents when we have Building a Bridge. What advice would you give your younger self?
That's a really great question.
I
would probably say don't be in a hurry to grow up too fast.
That's a really good
That's
answer.
a good answer. It is.
Really
that
good
is
answer.
that is a piece of truth. Yes. Slow down.
Slow down. Yes, very much so.
Yeah. So we have a few closing questions. I think this was a really great conversation. How can the community better show up for young people?
I think listening to young adults, right? They have really great ideas. I think also investing in prevention programs, right? Creating safe spaces, supporting mental health services for everyone, but young adults also, normalizing that, being consistent. I think that young people need adults who are present, accountable, and emotionally safe.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I agree with
100%.
that too.
If there's anything we didn't ask that you feel is important to talk about?
Yes, I think it's important to normalize conversations around mental health before someone reaches a breaking point. Prevention matters, right? And I think that emotional education should be treated just as important as an academic education.
Very good answers.
Yeah, good.
Wow. So to lighten the mood and to before we end, tell us what's one song that always lifts your mood?
Sunshine by Wookie. I don't know if anybody knows who that is, but he's a DJ and he's really great. And I just got to see him in April finally.
Oh.
Yep.
I don't know him.
If you have not heard that song, it's Sunshine, the song from My Girl, the movie My Girl. I've got sunshine.
Oh, yeah.
And he like remixed it.
Oh, okay.
wow.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
It's fun.
Where did you see him at? You said you got to see him at?
Yes, it's Stagecoach.
Oh, stage. Oh, okay.
Oh, fun.
Fun.
Yep.
Nice.
Fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, any other questions?
No, I have a question. Thank you, Steffanee, for showing up for our Hey Sis, you okay? Please subscribe to our newsletter. It's a QR code here. It also will be in the bottom of the screen. Please don't forget the Purple Rain Gala is 12/6/2026. Please reach out to our sister house website, as well as you can look at us on this channel and get all the information you need. Thank you once again. Yeah, thanks. You want to add, babe?
Nope, that was great.
Okay.
Thanks for being my co-host today. You did a great job. Maybe we'll have you back again.
Hope so.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. No, you did a good job. Thanks for being here.
Yeah,
thank you, Steffanee,
Thank
too.
you, Steffanee. It was great.
See you all next time.
Hey sis, you okay?